Hello, beautiful souls. It's Lisa Driver. And today I want to share with you a grounding practice. Now we are into a new year. Happy New Year. I hope you had a great holiday season. And I'm so excited to be coming live. My plan is to be joining you Mondays at 11:11 and sharing some insight into my journey moving through grief, awakening my spirituality, and developing these tools that have really anchored me when the life I thought I was going to live was pulled away from me through the loss of my father and some other impactful events. If you've read my books, you kind of know a little bit of my story. But yesterday marked 10 years since my dad passed away. I call it his rebirth day, where he transitioned to the next dimension. And in my belief, he's still with me. And one of the things that I like to do when grief gets overwhelming, when things kind of come up in waves, as they do, especially with anniversaries, holidays, reminders of the life we thought we'd have, not being there anymore, is talk to them. So today I want to lead you through a grounding, healing, visualization, intention. Some people call it prayer. It depends on your background. I find that prayer is one of those heavily loaded words, much like God, especially in our religiously wounded community. So I call it intentions. We set our intentions out there to a vibrational universe, to the creative pulse that flows through all of us. And we watch that energy come back to us. I was flipping open my book, Leap. It's my second book here. And it talks a lot about my dad's journey and finding out about him at the same time as I found out about my first daughter. And I flipped to the chapter 2, which is really about tuning in. And it talks about the ways in which we can talk to the heavens and receive. So talking to the heavens really is just about putting your intentions out there. Now, of course, we're in this prime time to do so. We're January, it's the new year. We've got all these goals that people are absolutely just like trying to shove into the frozen ground, these seeds that we try and plant into the frozen ground. And I'm all for using that motivation, that energy around the new year. But I do think that there's something to be said for just getting an idea of what it is you want to be manifesting. For a lot of us, that's just more peace, more fulfillment, more satisfaction, enjoying some of the simpler things in life. I know myself, that's what I call a soulful life, where I'm full at the end of each day. And yes, abundance flows. We need material wealth so that we can buy groceries, pay bills. But when it comes down to the end of your days, you want those moments with people. And that's why grief and losing someone you love can feel so heavy and so rough. I know that my dad was a really big part of my life. He was one of my people. And without him in my world, without him in my universe, things feel a little bleaker. But since he's passed, I've had 2 daughters that bring me so much joy. I've made new friends, reconnected with old friends, and deepened those connections through my grief and through my growing. And I want to encourage you to look for those sort of silver linings as we head into this new year. No matter when you're watching this, I think if you've gone through loss, the hardest part sometimes is that we feel alone. Grief can feel so overwhelming, just like a sea of wave after wave after wave crashing in. And sometimes we're even afraid to feel those feelings. So I encourage you to honor that fear, but also to honor those feelings. And if you can, find someone to lean on. I know for myself, my husband, my kids eventually, and a couple close friends really buoyed me through my deep grief. And if you're in deep grief, of course, it's a little bit trickier. But if it's been a little bit and the ache, you're having those moments where that ache isn't maybe as heavy. I know for myself, 10 years out, the waves aren't as big. They come crashing just as hard, but they don't last as long. And it doesn't feel like I'm going to drown in them, which is really refreshing. But leaning on someone, even last night, asking my husband for a hug and just resting in his comfort and just feeling seen and less alone in my grief was really helpful. So I encourage you with that. But the other thing I want to do is walk you through a little practice that you can come back to again and again, time-stamped right around the 444 mark of this video. And this is a great practice to just ground you, to give yourself permission to pause, to not have to rush, to not have to fix anything or perform or show up for anyone. And I think it's a really useful practice I use regularly when I'm feeling overwhelmed. And I thought I'd share it with you today. So the first thing I love to do when we get into healing mode is just to kind of activate the energy. And I do that by just rubbing my hands together. So you can do this. You can close your eyes if you'd like, maybe get comfortable. Just take a couple deep breaths as we move into a space of openness, receptiveness, and that channeling of light. Now, I'm a big believer that there's this beautiful ethereal light around us that flows to us and through us. And it's this energy, this vibration that can really help us return to our natural state of healing, of knowing what to do to feel better. When you cut your hand, your body just knows to work and to heal that hand. So when we activate this light, we really welcome in that healing energy. And I encourage you just to take a couple deep breaths, to think of who it is that you've been missing, a loved one, maybe a friend, maybe it's someone still on the physical plane, but you don't get to see them as often. I want you to bring them into your mind's eye. And I want you just to feel their presence, invite their energy in. And as I go through these intentions, I want you to either repeat them out loud or in your mind, or just listen and affirm, yes, please, as I channel a message to welcome in that support and love. Beautiful angels and ancestors, we ask you to flood us with your love and your light today. We invite you into our hearts and our homes. And we ask you to bring us the healing energy that we've been missing and craving. Bring us back into our bodies and into the power of this moment. And lift the ache off of our hearts. Please help us to find that peace that's so elusive when we experience loss or change, or when life throws us those curveballs. I really wish you were here to guide me, beautiful ancestors. I wish I could see you in this physical realm, but I trust that your energy is available to me through signs and synchronicities and those intuitive knowings in my heart. Help me to keep my heart open. Help me to remember that this is my one precious life, and to follow my own inspiration and ideas and intuitive nudges, taking that inspired action on my own behalf. Please help me to have boundaries, to be able to say no when needed, to be able to know when I need to refill my bucket. Guide me to the people and places and things that help me through this transition, this time of change and uncertainty and uprootedness. Please bring me that support and give me the courage to ask for it when needed. Angels and ancestors, I invite your light into my heart to ease any pain, any stress, any worry about the days, weeks, months, or year to come. As I breathe, I let all of that go to you now. Just placing your hands on your heart. As I breathe out, I let go of anything heavy, and I welcome in your love, your comfort, and your courage into my heart. Navigating this world without you isn't easy. But grief is just the price we pay for love. Please help me to move forward with faith, with a belief that I'm growing and getting stronger by the day through all of this transition. Please help me to open up to all the lessons and guide me forward towards more abundance and towards more fulfillment, the fulfillment of my goals. Help me to focus on small steps, baby steps towards more joy, more peace, less pain. Grounded in the power of today and what I can do today. Help me to let go of the pain of the past and the worries of the future, and instead focus on my power right now. I trust you to guide me. I know you are with me. I miss you. And I love you. And I thank you for walking with me on this journey. Just sending that love out to your ancestors or your loved ones, the people you miss, knowing that their energy receives that vibration. Thanking them for this love and guidance today. When you're ready, just coming back to the space that you're in, wiggling your fingers and toes, and opening your eyes. It's a really simple way to connect, to vibrationally send out that love to the people we miss, and to talk to them. One of the things I miss most about my dad is just chatting with him about my day and about what I need and how he could support me. And this is a really simple exercise where you can do just that. Even if the person isn't crossed over, there's something about the vibrations we put out into the universe, that wonderful law of attraction where it responds. And so I challenge you to use this, to lean on it, especially if you're grieving, and to know that you're not alone. I'm going to be going live every Monday around 11:11. Sometimes it will be about grief. Sometimes I'll be talking about boundaries, spiritual tools. I'll be pulling some oracle cards for some sacred guidance for all of us, collective messages, and sharing guided meditations and exercises to help you live with more joy, more presence, more grateful and grounded. And I really look forward to it. I thank you guys for joining me today, watching on the replay. And if you like, you can subscribe so that you get notified when I go live. Otherwise, I will see you next week. I'm sending you so much love, peace, comfort, and healing.